The Yerushalmi Terumos, the articles, but hard edition right after meant as well at the top. Secondly, for the top, the Chizkiah, which in the Vilna is on the Chav Zayin Amud Aleph. The third line, Chavish does the Chizkiah, which is chutz for Am Yisrael, Eretz Yisrael, and all places where we are fighting against our enemies. Chavish does the Chizkiah. Chizkiah seems to contradict himself. Chavish does means he contradicts himself. His shita seems to have switched. Tamon means there. Tamon Omer means there. He said. Now the Kavanaki points out that the Pnei Moshe says that we don't find anywhere clear cut where Chizkiah said this. Tamon, where is the Tamon? The Kavanaki brings down a surmise based on the Stipler that it's going on some brisa, which is similar to Sefta and Challah Perek Beis brisa Daled. Kemach Tomei, if you have flour which is Tomei, she's Arba Kemach Tomei, which got mixed up into flour which is Tor. Veim Tomei Kashir, and the Tomei does not have a shear, meaning the size of a kibetza. Kshu Noitel, when you take the Challah, Omer Harezu Challah, this is Challah Chutz Min HaTomei Sheba, except for the Tomei. But it seems that the Girsa, they added on to the end, Kigon Shtus Arbos Kabin, such as a sixth for Kav. Okay, so the what that means, now we're going to talk about it. Tamar Kami used to be Yechol Sosa Betara. So the meaning that he will be able to make two doughs, one of 80 eggs and one of 16 eggs. So the Chizkiah Shtus, Chizkiah says a sixth darbos kabin. A sixth is 16 kibetzim of times 4 kav, which is comes out to 96 eggs, 96 kibetzim. Shtus arba kabin va'arba kabin, and 4 kav. So Shtus arba kabin is 16, and 4 kav is actually I'm not sure again this number, right? It's altogether 4 kav. Okay, so in other words, it becomes a shtus of 4 kav and together with the rest of the eggs that make up a fourth of a kav, 4 kav, which is altogether 96 eggs, and the sounds like the small dough. We're not going to see how it works. The small dough, he makes sure to keep it tara or think of challah. The large dough, he doesn't care if it's got tummy or not. So that's over there. V'kol marachi. Here he says, definitely says specifically in Nikudim. Right? He has to have has to make small batches or batches without which are not mushak abatum, etc. Rabbi Yosef said Tamon there, which by Yerushalmi very often means here too as by us as well. It's talking about when he wants to first knead the entire dough and then set aside challah. So then he has to do nikudim, either small amounts, so it won't become won't be matame, or with where it's mukshal kabatuma, Abraham hacha. But there, b'shehifresh rachach gibel. There is the first he set aside a little bit of flour to knead it separately for the purpose of challah, and then he wants to do the rest of it together. Well, it's first the 16 and then the 80. So Amrabi of it again. We haven't explained it yet. Amrabi is a koyameinu hinu toim ba. Our entire lives, we made a mistake. We didn't understand what Chizkiah was talking about. Toin here is spelled with a test, but it's like toin with a tough, which means we are wandering around and knowing what's going on. Like Kamakel Zeshusuma, like the stick of a a blind person, which is going around and doesn't know where it's going until it finally finds a way. So we learned how it works by reckoning gematria, and gematria here means the common is out from Avos per Gimel Mishnah Ches according to Mir Tes Yontif, the Chachma Medida v'Tishbores, the Chachma of measuring and division. Kaba kama of it. How much does a kav have? Right? Chavdal bein, 24 kibetzim. Varba kama kama of din. How much does 24 kavin have? Tishim v'shis, 96 kibetzim. So I wrote here on the side of my kavanaki, Hakol savuch ma'od. It's all very complicated. I even can't see everything below. Okay, so this is because of my mental block against arithmetic and mathematics, clearly. So Tishim v'shis made. Okay, so now we're talking about where a shear of 16 kibetzim tameim got mixed with an 80 tahorim. So it's altogether 96 beitzim, which is four kabin. And now we have to figure out how much you have to separate and need separately in order to be able to take challah b'tara. So shtusitu, a sixth of this is shita asar, is 16, right? 96 divided by 6 is 16. Inigabel shis. If you're going to take 6 eggs, yeshkan beitza tmeo. There's going to be 1 egg, which is tummy, because 1 out of his 6 eggs here is tummy. Inigabel arba. If you take 4 eggs, which is the shear of giving challah, the shear of challah, because the challah is one when you're giving challah. At the time that challah was still given, it's 1/24 of the entire dough, so 1/24 of 96 is 4. So then there's no shear because you can't give the name, you can't call challah on the tummy. So you're missing a 6 of the 4 kibetzim tahorim, which you need to the shear of giving challah. It's all based on stipler. Okay, so this is what do you say? What do you do? Mikbol chamesh. You need to gather 5, which is a little bit more than the shear of Nesinas challah, and there's still less than a kibetza of tumah. The notar and you korei shame on 4 of these kibetzim, which are the Torah ones. So you say it's like challah b'tara. It's a little bit which is left in one a little bit 5 is left off, obviously. It's a little bit more, a little bit less than 5, so you don't have a kibetza of truma tamei. Obviously, we're only bila here. Otherwise, I told you it's going to work. So they have a little bit less than 5, and you have there's less kibetza tamei. For that, you take 4, which can be tahar, right? So 4 of these are tahar, and you would say it's like challah b'tara. Okay. So Milsa, the Chizkiah Amar, what Chizkiah is telling here, it says if I shall take kibetza tuma nogas beguma, a kibetza of dough, which is tummy, should not touch the hole or the indentation. So Chizkiah is concerned that shouldn't be a kibetza of tummy dough in the part which you're taking off his challah. Let me explain. So it's be a little bit less than 5 to get 4 b'tara. And guma is the indentation in the tablet on which he is kneading his small dough. And it means that they are evidently that you can somehow make indentations so they don't touch each other. Not everything becomes tummy at once. You can separate into, it's still to be mukaf challah, but the tummy won't have tuma of kibetza touching the ones that you want to be tar. Okay, so the Milsa Rabbi Yochanan, on the other hand, the words of Rabbi Yochanan, which we don't know what they are, as the cipher points out, we can reconstruct it mean that they the nafal shtus darba kabin. A 6th of the 4 kabin fell. Shtus Garba kamen, and you take a sixth of 4 kav. In other words, you divide up the dough into the flour into small doughs, each of them a sixth of 4 kav. So it's shalo tehei misar yerama vachlo take a bates of tmea nogas beisa. So we're talking about that. Again, we're talking about 1 to 16, the proportion of. Actually, we're talking about a proportion of 1 to 16. So Rabbi Yochanan also does explain how much Torah flour here there was initially, in which the 16 kibetzim tmeim fell, but it has to be more than 16 times as much. So 16 squared. So that there in their six. So in that case, in a 16, there's not going to be a kibetza of challah tmeah. So we don't know where it's going on, whether he's coming from that, but that's the shear. So you have to have as long as you have. So Rabbi Yochanan, the way Rabbi Yochanan's learning it is that you have 16 tameh, which fell into 16 times as much tahar, right? In which case you can take up to 16, and you're not going to have debates tameh, again, a little less than 16, debates of tuma in one spot. Second here. And then you can roast be mafish challah b'tara. Now we're up to Nun Amud Aleph already, the second line, or Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yirmiyah, so it's a good place to stop. Not that the sugya ends here. The sugya continues on throughout Daf Nun. But for now, we had down Priska Rabbi Yochanan to begin with, and tomorrow sugya will discuss where we take it from there.